everybody. I know that I was meant to post this like weeks ago, but I've just now finally gotten around to editing it, and this is my Redwoods trip that I said I was going on. This is just my flight in. The first day we pretty much just arrived, we set up camp, we ate dinner, and then we went to sleep. So this is my drive in. The drive from the airport to the cabin was about 2 hours. It was super nice, super fun. The cabin was this cute little cabin, and there was electricity and running water and hot water even, which sometimes we don't have. We did have to take outdoor showers, which was really lovely. I love an outdoor shower. It just makes you feel nice and clean. And food was never an issue. The instructors went and picked up so much food. We had snacks for days, way too much actually. And this was only the first round. They went back for more food halfway through the week. This is my setup. I chose to do a hammock outside just so I could have more of my own personal space. I set it up with a fly just to help with the bugs that might be there. But it's really just my sleeping pad, my sleeping bag, and a little stuffed animal for a pillow. We have to hang everything here because there are scorpions, so I just have carabiners on the end to help hang stuff, and then I have a little pouch on the side to keep my headlamp in for at night. And then the first, or I guess day 2 and 3 there, was all about teaching. They taught us how to shoot a crossbow. We learned different knots, different rope transfers, because this course is for beginners. I have climbed a tree before, but we did have somebody who's never climbed a tree, and that's absolutely fine because you have a full 2 days to go over everything you need to know. That's the tree that I'm climbing, and this is my first ascent. So really you just climb the ropes, not the actual tree, but it took me about a whole hour to get to the first branch that I could stand on to start throwing my own rope. And it took 2 days to make it all the way to the top. We didn't sleep in the tree, we did come down in between, but it was a super fun experience and I had a great time. It was definitely an arm workout, but the view was worth it, and I can now say that I've been to the top of a giant redwood. This is us just hanging out on the top. We spent about 5 hours in the tree each day, and it was exhausting. But just sitting, taking rests, eating lunch in the tree was super interesting. So after day 5 climbing, so we completed the tree, Jerry and I decided to take a hike just to see the trees from the ground. There's plenty in the woods, and from a distance they look like just normal trees, but then you get up to the base of them and they are like the size of a house, and you can't even fit a full one in a photo. You either get the trunk or you get the canopy. So then it was on to day 6, which was technically a rest day. We went on this gorgeous hike, so we had to drive a little bit and then we went on this hike, which is debatably restful, but it was super interesting, and the views were amazing. It was a little sad because you can see from these videos there's a lot of char because they have lots of forest fires that come through and just burn all these trees, and eventually they'll recover and it'll be a full forest again, but right now it's kind of just a bald cap of a mountain. I had a great time. You got to the top and you could do a 360 turn and there was nothing in the way, and you could just see for miles. All the mountains in the distance were beautiful and it was absolutely gorgeous. Of course, we had to take a picture with the survey marker in all of our feet because otherwise you didn't make it to the top. And then I have a photo of me on the top looking like an absolute badass because I made it. So at the end of that day, after the hike, we ended up sleeping in a tree. So that's me and 3 other girls in our hammocks. And we're about, 200 feet off the ground right now. And we had dinner up there, we had dessert, and then we fully slept. You had to sleep in your harness with everything attached. So it was a little uncomfy. So I probably won't do it again, but I loved the experience. So day 7 was a full rest day for me. I didn't do any tree climbing. I just was a ground crew for Jerry, who climbed a tree. And then this is a photo from day 8, which was our last day climbing. It was the twins. I ended up making it about halfway here, and then I started to have a panic attack, so I had to get lowered down to the ground. I'm super happy that I had people there to hear me and help me down. And then hiking back from the tree to relax myself, we actually ran into a bull, which was super fun. He was not very friendly, but he didn't charge, and we just walked by, and then it was the end of the trip, and we got some group photos with the whole group, with instructors and participants, and then they drove us to the airport, and it was time for us to leave, which was super sad. I loved it there. It was so much fun just to be cut off from the world and relax and just enjoy nature and go on hikes. But it was time to go back to reality, so we had to fly away. Thanks for listening. Bye.